fucking break, man. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Matt, and it's been a little short 4-year hiatus since I made a video. I'm sure nobody missed my videos anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But straight to the point, today, the release of the Battlefield 2042 early access for people who decided to spend, a massive amount of money on another Battlefield game. Or if you're part of EA Play, you get a little 10-hour trial, which give you enough time to decide whether or not you want to buy the game, which I think is more than enough time for most people to come to a conclusion, I guess. And today I figured I'd give you my first impressions of the game. I'm playing on PC. I've put in roughly around 5 hours into it since it came out at midnight. And I thought I'd just go over some of the things I like and dislike about the game so far without reiterating too much about what people have brought up, scoreboard and all that kind of shit over and over again. This is strictly my opinion so far, and I plan on investing a little bit of time into the game, and perhaps opinions will change over time or be revised by changes made in the game. So to start off, I think what most people are interested in is, how the gameplay is, how, fun is it? And the short answer to that is, yeah, it's fun, I guess. I think the thing that frustrates me the most about this game is also its biggest selling point, and that's the sheer scale of the game. You find yourself running a lot, and furthermore dying a lot after all the running from objective to objective. I feel like you spend a lot of time just in the empty areas of the map where nothing's really going on. On a 128 player server, you see multiple firefights all over the map, which is great, it's cool, but you also have a lot of empty space on the map where you find yourself, running into stragglers or, vehicles and stuff like that on your way over to an objective. And I find the actual gunfights themselves to be fun, but at the same time I see myself getting into engagements at longer distances so frequently. And when the map is so chaotic and there's so many players in one firefight, it seems that you're always getting shot from so many different directions. And that's the chaos of the game, so that is what it is. But I've been playing Battlefield since the first Bad Company came out, and I can't say I've shared the same feeling and experience that this game gives me. Maybe it's just something I need to get used to. If I could compare it to anything, I would go as far as saying that the combat almost feels that, dare I fucking say it, Battlefield Hardline or even Medal of Honor Warfighter. I feel like DICE is trying to do too many things at once, and in the end you're left with a relatively underwhelming mess of, an experience which differs from what I think most Battlefield fans are used to. I do believe that I do need more time with the game for sure. I still haven't given Hazard Zone a try, and I'll probably just give it a video in itself, although I haven't heard fantastic things about it so far. The game looks great, that's a definite fact. Performance-wise, lots of people are having a wide array of issues, even on higher-end PCs. I mean, the game just came out. I think a lot of these issues will end up getting weeded out probably closer to the 20th when the first patch kind of drops. I think that will kind of fix a lot of issues for people who are struggling at the moment, and even in some cases these issues are transferring over to PS5 and Xbox Series X. In terms of bugs, the game is pretty decent, I would say. It's definitely a stronger launch than I've seen from some Battlefield games. I personally ran into a lot of connection issues in terms of rubber banding and stuttering and just input lag in general, but I'm chalking that up to being it, the first launch day and there just being so many people logging onto the game. Vehicles are fun, a little more powerful than they need to be. I find it relatively easy to go on a pretty big streak in the gunner seat of an Apache or a VTOL. I find that the default rocket launcher you can equip is vastly underpowered when it comes to damaging pretty much anything. Taking a tank on one-on-one is pretty much impossible now. It's hard to really comment on the balance of the game based on just how new everything is, but I do think there will be obvious tweaks and dislikes from the community that will just have to be weeded out as the game ages. The maps are great looking and just so huge. Conquest is just a hectic mess of things going on, but there's plenty of fun to be had there, especially if you're into vehicles. I myself really do favor infantry combat over that of vehicles, and that's mostly because I'm no good in aircraft. In fact, I'm fucking dog shit. Portal is super cool, and there seems to be a lot of hope surrounding it in terms of creating a sense of longevity for the game. It was nice to have a sort of server browser during the first couple hours of the game so that I could pick a server that had lower ping for myself rather than letting matchmaking doing it for me, because in most cases it would just place me in a server I had really bad connection to. It was nice to see a small variety of game modes throughout the different Battlefield games, even early into the release. We did see a lot of servers where people are just farming XP off of bots, but I think that has been patched now. While the nostalgia is great, it sure just doesn't feel quite the same playing a map like Caspian Border. Bad Company 2 seems to nail it on the head a little bit more for me, and I think that boils down to the textures in 2042 being a little on the blander side, I guess I would say, when it comes to weapons and character models. One picture has been making its rounds, and if I find it, I'll definitely throw it up on the screen. And what's shown is Battlefield 3 in comparison with 2042 on Caspian Border. It's just a first-person perspective of some of the foliage and the weapon model and so forth. And if I were being honest, Battlefield 3 did a better job in this one instance in terms of pretty much everything. Not to say Battlefield 2042 is a bad looking game, because it really isn't, but it surely isn't the best Battlefield game we've seen to date. I feel like there had to have been some decisions made about the graphical intensity of the game based on the amount of players and vehicles and scale of the map as well. I think in the end we're left with the game that looks fantastic, but when compared with earlier titles like Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4, it just really doesn't feel the same. I think this game has a lot of promise moving forward, but I think once again Battlefield is a pretty big letdown for a lot of true fans of the series. Like I said, I've only played a total of 5 hours, and this is sheerly based on my experience alone so far with the game. I think that DICE and EA have moved in the direction over the past few years to cater to a greater audience of players that favor a little bit more chaos, a little bit more size, you know, the wow factor that you get when you're running alongside a whole bunch of other people in a huge map, you know, the whole battle royale side of things. But at the end of the day, Battlefield's Battlefield, and while at times this game does feel like what I'm used to, a lot of the time I can't help but feeling like I'm playing some sort of new IP from DICE, or even some type of mod for another game, something that just doesn't feel right, and I can't quite put my finger on it. But only time will tell, of course, when it comes to, you know, bugs being fixed and potential changes being made to the game over time. In a lot of cases, games really only do get better with age, and as new content and balancing issues are weeded out, the game's just gonna flourish, I think. You know, we saw this with Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 as well, I think, and I even remember Battlefield 1 having a lot of concerns and hate when the game first dropped, and now it really is the star child among Battlefield community. I have my fingers crossed in the meantime, but for now, you know, I'm the saddest I've ever been in my life. You know, thanks DICE and EA, you've really done it this time. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video today. That was more of a rant, but I feel a lot of it is justified considering the amount of money this game was. You know, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as there will be more content coming hopefully, unless I disappear for another 4 years. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you later.